Hi everybody, welcome back to another video. My name is Charlotte and today we're wrapping up October. There's 2 months left of the year and by the time you're seeing this it's actually less. Actually less. But yeah, I thought we were going to talk about the 10 books that I've read in October. I have one DNF and I have one soft DNF, and we're going to get into why when we get to the books. Okay, so the first one that I read in October is actually one that I do not have physically, and it is Soul Searching by Lila Sage. This is the first one, and I don't know how many books there's going to be in this series. And also my dog is playing, so I'm so sorry if you can hear that. He decided to cuddle his stuffed animal. I know I'm biased, but I think he's pretty cute. But yeah, I don't know how many books there are going to be in the series, but I enjoyed it. I have fun. If you do not know what Soul Searching is about, it is about a girl named Clarkson? No. Collins. It's about Collins. And she and her twin sister, they can talk to ghosts. They do sense paranormal activities, and they enjoy a good, ghost talking from time to time. Something has happened. This is on the back of the book, so it's not a spoiler, but something has happened, and the FMC doesn't hear the ghosts anymore. The ghosts have gone quiet, which is very unusual. So she goes back to her hometown for different reasons, and that is where the story picks up for us. The MMC also lives in the town for different reasons that you do learn throughout the series. This is a very easy palate cleanser type of read, just like her Rebel Blue Ranch series. It's not that deep, and I mean that in the best way possible. So, I ended up giving it a 3.75 just because it's something you read for the vibes. It's not something you read because you want to get lost in a good story that will make you cry and give you all the feels. It's just a fun story. Nothing more, nothing less, basically. And when I was done with the Soul Searching, I decided that I wanted to go to university. So I started reading Nightshade, and this is going to be a duology from what I understand. I regret reading this one now. I regret reading it because the ending, it ends on a cliffhanger. Naturally, there's going to be more books. But this one was so freaking good. It was fan-freaking-tastic. I loved this book. Like I said, it's Nightshade by Autumn Woods. This one is about Ophelia. Ophelia is going to go to Sorosong University, not just because she wants to finish a degree, which is probably why most people go to university. I don't know, I never went. But she also wants to figure out what happened when her parents died, because she is not convinced that this was an accident, as it was ruled. Naturally, she meets a guy, and the guy is the son of the man she thinks is behind her parents' murder. And the way they flirt, oh my god, I wish I was a bigger nerd. I want to flirt this way so freaking bad. It's so cute. I don't know, it feels like, she's a little awkward and weird, and she doesn't really know what to do with her awkward and weirdness. And then he shows up and he's like, hey, but I'm just the same. And they oh my god, I love it. I loved this book. I did originally give it a 4.5. This is a 5-star read for me. I thought about this several times since it ended. I kind of want to reread it. I know I'm going to reread it before the second book comes out. And there is mention of bedroom activities in this one, but I wouldn't say that it's smutty. No way, shape or form. I feel like this is the door is just slightly open, You get a little bit more than when it's completely closed, but it's not smutty at all. So do with that information as you will. But I love this. This definitely 100% my favorite read out of all the books I read in October. And if you haven't read it, please do, so that I can talk with someone about it. Because right now I don't have anyone to talk about it with. Like, no one. I've been talking to Tom about it, but Tom hasn't read it. Tom just listens to me because we're married and he kind of has to. So, that's nice of him, I guess. The only complaint I have about this one is that because it's set in Scotland and it's supposed to be like a big international university. So you meet, it's like they're from Italy, they're from France, they're from Sweden. And when you listen to the audiobook, they also give them like a fake accent, which I didn't really feel was necessary because, a lot of people talk English now without an accent. So, but yeah, I loved it. I need book 2 straight away, right now. Thank you so very, very much. When I was done with that madness, I decided that it was probably time for me to actually reread something, because I've said for the longest time, and I mean for the freaking longest time, that I am going to reread some of my favorite books, but there's too many books to read, so I don't really know what to do. So I decided that I was going to reread this one, and I did. I did reread it. I did start it in Norwegian. I did kind of end up switching back to English because there's something about the translation. I don't like it. So I did decide to go back to reading it in English, and I'm very glad I did. It was so much fun. And reading it and being like, oh my God, the foreshadowing. Oh my God, the foreshadowing. Oh my God, the foreshadowing. That was very fun. If you do not know what Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros is about, it is about Violet Sorrengail. She has been training all her life to become a scribe, go to university and become a scribe. But, 6 months ago, her mom was just like, no, do you know what you're going to be? You're going to be a dragon rider. Yes, I decided. And if you're not a dragon rider, I will make you a dragon rider, because we're Sorrengails and we're dragon riders, god damn it. And she's like, but my dad was a scribe. Yeah, but your dad is dead, so he doesn't get a say. That's how I imagine her mom just kind of delivered the news. So she goes to university and has to become a dragon rider. There she meets Seyden Ryerson, who is the son of parents who her mom killed because they were rebellious. So it's like a whole entanglement. This one, I know a lot of people say that it is enemies to lovers. I don't really feel like this is a true enemies to lovers, because they're not enemies for long, I feel. They're enemies, but they kind of turn frenemies and then lovers. And I think she also, are you okay? I think she also said that this is going to be a true romantasy, which, is good, because a lot of people are afraid that one or both or everyone is just going to... But yeah, I gave this a 4.5. I had a lot of fun rereading it. I think maybe because I know where the story is going as well, it was really fun to just read it and go through it and see what I picked up when it came to the foreshadowing. But I don't know if I'm going to keep on reading the rest of this series, because I don't know. There's so many books I want to read, and I don't really know if a reread of a fantasy series that hasn't turned out to be my favorite fantasy series is worth it. Then I read There's a Pumpkin About You by Athena. I think it's Karstar. I don't know how to pronounce your last name. I'm so sorry. I'm not even gonna try. Okay, I'm not gonna do it. This one is about Ren and Gus. Ren is a party planner and has been hired by her best friend to plan her 30th birthday. She wants it to be fall themed. Like, that is what she wants. She wants pumpkins, she wants browns and oranges and autumn, fall themed. And she's like, oh my God, there is this pumpkin farm. This is the perfect place to hold the party. Let me drive there and see if we can make something happen. Gus is like, no, I'm sorry, we're not gonna make it happen. I do have a reading vlog out on this one, so I'm gonna link it, and you can hear more of my thoughts about it. But I did end up giving this one a 3.75. I had so much fun reading this one. Gus is a fantastic MMC, and I just love them. I love them. This is a standalone as well. It's not a series, but there are people in here that I really want books from. them. I'm like, hey, can we make it into a series, please? Because I want to read about that. I want to read about her. I want to read about him. I want to read about them. So this is my petition to please make it into a series. Thank you very much. Then I went over to another book that is also in the reading vlog, and people have been raving about this author, and I do understand why, because the writing is pretty. But I have to say that this book, it did indeed disappoint me a lot. This is People Watching by Hannah Bonham Young, and I don't really know what to say that doesn't feel like a spoiler, but it is about Milo and it is about Prue. Milo is, let's call him a drifter. He doesn't like staying in one place for too long. He doesn't like being in the same relationship for too long, and Prue doesn't want to leave. Prue just wants to stay home, take care of her mum who's ill, and that's kind of the extent of what she would like to do. Milo has to go back to his hometown to help out his brother, and he meets Prue, and he immediately is like, yeah, I want to bang you. Fair, I guess. But I feel like everything Milo stands for, like the fact that he wants to travel and see the world, and he wants to do all of this stuff, it kind of just gets thrown out the window at some point. And he also does have a lot of childhood trauma that I don't feel like we don't learn enough about it. Like, he's funny because he has a lot of childhood trauma, but when he kind of gets real and gets down to it, it's kind of like a byproduct. You don't really know that much about it. And I feel like she's very stuck in her ways, which I do understand when you have a sick parent, but I don't know, there's something a little bit off. There's something a little bit off. You talk a lot about, the parents and their upbringing and everything for a little bit at the start. Then you completely forget about it. And the focus is just on them exploring each other. And then, oh shit, you kind of remember it and shit hits the fan. This wasn't a couple when I read the book where I was like, oh yeah, I think they're together in 6 months. Because they felt too different, and they felt too different in the wrong way, because two people can feel very different but still work very well together. These just felt different in the wrong way. And I originally gave it a 3.5, but actually, and this hurts me to do, I did end up changing it to a 2.75, because when I don't believe in the couple, when I don't believe in their romance, and when I just feel like no, the story left me nothing, then why would I want to recommend that book to somebody else? And I usually say that everything like a 3-star and up, that's books I would recommend. And the further down it goes behind the 3, the less the chances that I would recommend it. So, I mean, it's almost there, but I don't feel like this is a book that I wouldn't jump to being the first one I would recommend. So it is a 2.75 because I did enjoy it, but then I didn't. Yeah. Then last book from that reading vlog is Fall I Want by Lyra. I think it's Paris. I don't know. I don't know how to pronounce her name. I don't. Somebody needs to tell me. But yes, Fall I Want. This one, I was so excited to read it because I've seen it all over TikTok. I've seen people talk about it. I've seen people rave about it. I was like, yes, this is exactly what I need, because it's a billionaire romance. She works at a coffee shop. He is a billionaire. They are gonna knock boots. I am excited for it. And oh my God, what a fucking letdown this was. What a letdown. Like, I get mad just thinking about this book. Like, I get mad. I get mad just thinking about this book. Her name is Autumn. His name is Sane. Autumn is very ordinary. Sane wants to be very ordinary, but he's not, because he's a billionaire and he is in the tabloids, and there's just a lot of the storyline, it doesn't add up. She doesn't know who he is, which he thinks is fine, but later on in the book he keeps on throwing around his name and kind of gets offended when they don't know who he is the minute he looks at them, and he wants to fire someone because he felt like they were disrespecting Autumn. And I'm like, dude, okay, it's the United States. You can probably fire people for less. What the fuck do I know? But then he's like, yeah, I'm a good guy. I'm trying to do something nice, or like at least one nice thing every day. And then he goes and buys the entire queue coffee or pizza or whatever. And then he goes and harasses somebody else at work. And I thought he was a dick. Like, I didn't like him at all. Like, at freaking all. The premise of this book was really intriguing for me, because she has had a dream about a dream man forever. She's seen him very clearly. She knows who he is. He is Mac Dreamy. He has been told that he is going to meet the love of his life, kind of got told how they're going to meet cute, blah, 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 blah. They both know you're the one for me, but only because he knows it because somebody told him. She knows it because she dreamt it. They don't, like, I didn't get to know the characters. I didn't feel like the characters got to know each other. It's just a whole mess. yes. And then when he starts being mean to service workers, people that work in a restaurant at a hotel, I got pissed, and you can you can watch me get pissed in in the reading vlog. I did end up giving it 2 stars for the reason that I did enjoy like the first, I don't know, 35% of the book. I did enjoy it, but when it went downhill fast, and everything this man did just made me so mad. I kind of had to push through finishing the book, hoping that he would redeem himself, because I was over it. I was so over it. 2 stars from me is me being nice. It's me being nice. I didn't enjoy it. I was so excited to read more books in this series, but I have just decided that it's not for me. I'm not going to read more from it. And then I went over and I was like, I want to read one more full book. One more full book. It's not in the reading vlog, but I did want to read it. And that is the Cinnamon Spice Inn. This is just the Norwegian version. I read 150 pages in this book, and the book is 299 pages, okay? So I read half the book, nothing happened. I think it's been like 2, maybe 3 days in the book, and nothing happened. It's building up to something, I'm guessing, but because I read it in Norwegian, and when it's translated from English to Norwegian, I feel like a lot of the essence of our language kind of gets taken away through the translation. It's not the same when it's translated from a different Scandinavian language, because we do speak very similar. The way we form our sentences are very similar. My dog fell down. But when it's translated from English to Norwegian, a part of the essence kind of just gets lost in translation. I do have a feeling that's what happened here, but nothing happened. Literally nothing happened. They've talked together like once, and all they've done is yearn for each other, but be like, no, I can't be with you. It's a second chance romance. I wasn't invested. I ended up just DNFing it. And then I complained to Tom. I was like, Tom, all I want to do is just read a good book, because the book I read before was Fall I Want, right? And I was like, all I want to do is just read. I just want to read one good book. That's all I'm asking of you. I just one book. I just want to read one good book. Is that too much to ask? And he looked at me, and this idiot went, Charlotte, you've read 80 books this year. They can't all be good. That doesn't help. Anywho, when I was done with that, I was like, maybe genre shifting. Maybe I just need a complete different genre to get myself through whatever it is, because I was feeling the slump just coming at me full force. So I decided that I was going to read A Court of Frost and Starlight by Sarah J Maas, and I was like, it's a short little sweet little thing. If I don't enjoy it, I don't have to read the next book, but I'm going to try and see if I enjoy it. And I had so much fun being back in this universe that I was like, oh my god, I'm having so much fun. Oh my god, this is the best time ever. Yay! You know, slump, be gone. I'm not interested in you anymore. I loved it. I loved being back in this universe, being back in Valaris, meeting Rhys and Feyre and Nesta and Cassian and all of the good people. It's a novel. I do not, give characters to novels, but if I did, it was like a solid 4-star. I had so much fun, and it's been a year. It's been 13 months from book 3 until I read the novel. And it was just what I needed, to the point where the next one I picked up was A Court of Silver Flames, also written by Sarah J Maas. It's I don't know, is it the 4th book or is it the 5th book? Because do we count the novel as a book? That's the question. Either way, it's the last book that is out as of right now in this series. The series isn't finished, and it is a chunky motherfucker. But this one was by far my favorite out of all of them. I love Nesta. And those are words I didn't think I was going to say. I feel like her story is more heavy and it is more vulnerable than Feyre's, because I feel like a lot of the choices Feyre made, she made. But I feel like a lot of the choices that were made for Elaine and Nesta were made for them. They were not part of their decision making. It was just kind of done to them. So I was very, very excited to go into this and see, is Nesta just kind of going to be a bitch like she feels like she is in the other books? And no, this one, it has raw emotion. I cried a few times. there is smut in it. This is the smuttiest book out of all of them. It didn't need it, in my humble opinion. I felt like, yeah, there were, scenes that were interesting to read. But at the end of the day, I didn't feel like it was necessary for the story. So I would have enjoyed it nonetheless. It is 700 pages. Yeah, there were points where I was like, I don't need this. I don't need this. But there were less in this one than in the third book, and it's thicker than the third book. So I enjoyed it so much. The way it ended, though, it doesn't make me want to jump on the next book. It didn't hang on like a huge cliffhanger, but I am excited to keep on reading. I am afraid that because there's so much information in this one and you learn so much and there's so much of this and so much of that, that the next one can also feel like the middle child again, that it's just a book that you have to read to get through it, because I hate those kinds of books. But this one, by far my favorite in the entire series. And I have so many theories now. I literally have a book where I've written down all of the theories I have after I've read the entire series. If you want me to make a video on that, I will gladly do it and just talk about it. But it will be spoilers, so I'm not going to talk about them here. If you're like, Charlotte, I haven't read any of Sarah J. Maas's books. What is this about? Well, this is further out in the series, but what you need to know is that this is fae. It's low fantasy because there is a human realm, but there is a wall, and when you cross the wall, you cross into fae territory. In the first book, all the fae are wearing masks, and you don't really understand why, but you learn so throughout the series, and you do also get to meet a lot of the characters, but the main characters you don't actually meet until the second book, which I know. Why do we have to read a book to read a book? I know. I am here with you. I don't really want to say much more because I am afraid that I'm going to say something that is like a huge spoiler. Just go read the blurb. Just know that for me, the series just got better here. My favorite, this is my favorite, then book number 2, if you don't count the little one. Book number 2, book number 3, then book number 1 is my least favorite one. But it was fun enough for me to keep on reading the series, so that has to count for something, right? Then at the end, I did buy it on my Kindle because I can't get it in stores here. I did get In the Dark by Chelsea Curto, and this one is the one that I soft DNF'd. It's her first dark romance one, and I couldn't get into it. I couldn't get into it. I read 25-30% of the book, and I just felt like something was lacking. I felt like the characters were kind of taking, not even taking 3 steps. They were like jumping 10 steps ahead. I didn't like it. I didn't enjoy it. And also one of the things that I kind of didn't enjoy was that it was set up as like a stalker romance, but it felt like she kind of was stalking him more than he was stalking her to start out with. And then he decided that he was going to stalk her, but because he's a good guy, he was going to fill her fridge and buy security cameras for protection reasons. And I don't know, I just like it better when they are like, yeah, I want to spy on you. It's good that I know if somebody else there and you feel safe because you have a security camera, but also I kind of just want to look at you when you're in the shower. I don't like it when they try to hide behind a good guy persona when they're not a good guy. Like, if you're not a good guy, just don't be a good guy. In a book, please try and be a good person in real life. Please and thank you. Those were the books that I read in October, and when October was over, I was like, oh, I didn't read that much, did I? But I did. I did actually read a lot, and I'm very proud of myself. Even if I only read one book, I would still be pretty proud of myself because one book is more than nothing, and I enjoy books. So, here's to me, I guess. Have you read any of these? What is your favorite book of October? Please tell me in the comments. So if I haven't read it, I can add it to my ever-growing TBR. Please help me with that. Okay, please and thank you. I appreciate it. And yeah, that was it for me today. Thank you guys so much for spending some of your precious time with me. I really do appreciate it. And hopefully, I will see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.